No doubt that the greatest challenge that Muslims are facing in non-Muslim societies is how to raise their children. Many challenges, many obstacles, many serious threats, peer pressure, the schools, whether private or public schools, college, their friends, the media. It isn't something easy. It is something which would require the parents to be alert 24/7. I do have many people here in our channel who were born and raised in America, or they lived in America and they started families, so they decided to move from the free land, move from the most advanced society, move to sometimes a very hard living conditions. Less fortunate, and with a lot of difficulties, heavy traffic, pollution, problems with the nutrition, problems with the fun, problems with many things. But they were looking at the bigger picture, which is, well, I'm da'if, I'm very weak, can't afford to lose my children, and I don't think I can really be very protective in a society like that. I have actually Native Americans, and I have had in the channel here, and many of my students from all over Europe, North America, many places, Native people, like they don't have homes in any other country. They made what is known as hijrah. Why? What is the purpose? This hijrah was a legitimate hijrah. They wanted to save their families. Many people are ready to move from Mecca or from Medina to live in New York, to live in Florida, to live in California because of the beautiful weather, because of the fancy lifestyle, and so on. And they say, I'm going to take my chances. The risk is very high. So the first advice, which may not please many people, that if you have another place in a Muslim society, even with very hard living conditions, health, pollution, poverty, and all of that, but you're going to secure the life and the future of your children, you're going to make them grow up in a religious environment or relatively religious environment, because I'm not going to lie to you, there is no it does not exist anywhere in the world a society where you can say this is the kind of life of the Sahaba or al-Muhajirin and al-Ansar. But it's basically the benefit-risk ratio. This place is better than this place, or a little better, or this place is very risky, is very dangerous, and so on. I perfectly know what you're talking about. I'm one of those who are very weak. And I decided I can take the challenge. Even though I opened schools and I taught in America and I go back and forth all over, but I thought, because of the many experiences I have seen, that I'm not willing to go through that experience. I'm not willing to see my children go astray in front of my very eyes, or see my child having a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or even go odd, as you all know. No, I can't afford it. I can't take it. So this is what we call it as-salamatu la ya'diluha shay. It is best to put yourself on the safe side, to secure yourself by not accepting the challenge. What about if one does not have the alternative? I don't have this option to go to another society, or I don't know how to do it, and I can't do it. In this case, then the least you can do is you must live by a Muslim society, an Islamic center. And a Muslim community has a great task to fulfill. It's not only celebrating Eid and fighting over when is the beginning of Ramadan, no, and fighting who's going to be the administration and executive committee and elections. No, we have a bigger task, which is saving our children. Saving our children. So we have to join hands and efforts, and we have to keep thinking. It is 24/7 job. Sometimes in Muslim societies and Islamic communities, they offer Sunday school. Okay, not bad. But sometimes the Sunday school is, I like to give it that name, some analgesics. it makes you feel like, okay, satisfy your conscience. You're doing okay. But in fact, it is not sufficient. Imagine somebody who's exposed to filth 8 hours every day. 8 hours every day. Exposed to filth, literally. Then sitting in garbage, surrounded with a tremendous pressure, the peer pressure, drugs, girls, you name it. Then you just give him a couple hours every week on Sunday school and he hates it. Why? Because everybody believes that I'm just doing it. I have to do it. So we have to look at it entirely different. It's a challenge. It's a battlefield. It is my family, my children. Why did I immigrate in the first place? In order to secure a beautiful future for them. What if I lose them entirely? Allah the Almighty says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة. I am required before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not just to save myself and protect myself, but my family members, my children, my wife, everyone who's living under my roof. It's a big responsibility. So the daily work with either an Islamic teaching, Islamic studies, private tutoring, memorizing and learning Quran, having daily classes in the masjid that they have to attend and we have to attend as well. I'm saying this if you don't have the first choice, which is to escape. Until a certain time where you believe that they can really differentiate and distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. Otherwise, then let's find a Noah's Ark in the society, the Islamic Center. Provide the alternative for our children so that they love to go to the masjid. The Imam. I have a friendly advice to all the Imams. Everybody who has memorized the Quran, has become a Hafiz, or acquired a degree and wants to travel to work in the States or work in Europe so that he can make a couple $1,000 or can buy a house in the future or whatever. This is nonsense. Allah entrusted you with the greatest task on earth, saving people. Saving people. So the community and the leaders of the community have to look at the Imam whenever they are doing an interview as a savior, as a community leader, not as an employee, that he will take orders from us and we can fire him whenever. And also the Imam has to have a mission. His mission number one is the teenagers, to love them, to protect them, to be friend with them, boys and girls. They have to trust him. They have to learn from him. He has to be a role model. His main goal is not to keep jumping from one community to another to look for a better offer. This is with health insurance, this is with a better house, but to establish a generation. That would be your asset. Wallahi, I really don't have time to address this in details, but otherwise, this is the most important subject. This is the most important subject. So what you can do now, besides all what I said, is constantly, in every sajda, make dua. May Allah protect your children and the youth of the entire ummah, in the West and otherwise. And the best dua in this regard, وأصلح لي في ذريتي إني تبت إليك. And ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما.